everybody. We are clearly back in the garage. So we are going to get all of the odds and ends buttoned up, or what I can. So I got my handy dandy Mac valves for the boost control. I have, let me do a quick parts update. We have some Mac line with the fitting I need. I have to modify, I'll put my big head in the way. I have to modify this fitting for the check valve, or the quarter turn valve. So it has a, I don't know if you can see in there, a ball. There you go. So what I'm gonna do is probably just turn the knurl off here. I'm gonna figure something out with that. I may actually just put this, no, I'm gonna turn this down so that I can get the ball out. It's just straight through. And then this straight fitting that I'm blocking is gonna get put into that. And then we have transcooler line with the fittings. I'm changing to a 45 fitting off the tranny. I'm gonna do all that while the tranny is just kind of under the car. It'll make it a little bit easier. There we go, you can see. So yeah, while it's under the car, not in place, because it's super tight in there when it's in place. So I'll do that now. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna plumb to the boost control solenoids. I need to make a T fitting, unless I can find one in here. I don't think I have one though. A 1/8 MPT T fitting. And it's gonna be basically a straight tube. It'll have 1/8 MPT, male and male on the ends, and a hole with a 1/8 MPT female in the middle. And that will be the T between the two solenoids. I'm going to wire the solenoids tonight. I'm going to wire the oh shit button, because now that we have CO2, I can do that. And I feel that I'm probably gonna need it. Only problem is, this is where we gotta be careful, or I gotta be careful. The map sensor is still only a 2.5 bar. I have a bigger one over there. I couldn't get it to read right, so I'm really not trying to mess with it. So I put the 2.5 back on, everything runs mint. I'm gonna leave it on there. That's 24 pounds, 25 pounds, something like that. I'll check. I'll input the information here on the screen. But that's where we limit out on what I can read. So what I have to do is make sure that I don't have too much timing in it when I scramble it and it gets more, because I'm not gonna be able to read it in order to make any adjustments for it in the system right now. So I'll probably just have like, I'll see where it's at. I think it's at like 13 degrees or some shit. I might bump it down to like 11. I'm not gonna put a ton on the scramble, I'll put like 5. That's 5 dome pressure, not 5 PSI. It might correlate, it might not. We'll figure that out in testing, but we'll put like 5 or 8 PSI of dome pressure on it. It won't be a ton of extra boost, but I don't want to put it too much. But if I get to the finals or something like that, and it's a close race, I want to have that option. So yeah, there's that. So wire Mac valves, wire the shit button, plumb everything, basically have it ready, other than a couple of fittings, to go back in the car when the converter is done, hopefully tomorrow. I want to have it ready so that as soon as the converter comes back, let's slam that just back in there. Give myself room to edit that out. But slam it back in there, get it back together, bolt it together, put it down on the ground, roll it out of the garage, grab the button, make sure it builds boost on the original tune-up, not the modified one, because the modified one was literally throwing the kitchen sink at it, and I don't want to do that if I don't have to. That's how you break stuff. So we'll use the original tune-up, possibly with my modifier, because it did look like it was a little soft on the timing, at least getting up to the boost. So either I'll use the modifier or I'll just adjust the timing in that area, because really after I let go of the button, we're not in that area ever again. Not while racing. So I'll adjust the timing there, and then we'll grab the button and see what it does. Trying to do some testing Friday. That's the plan. I spoke to Marco over at OSW, and he said I can. I'm trying to like learn how to do this whole thing. He said, excuse me, that I can go on Friday and run at the end of the streetcar class, which is basically when there's like no prep left on the track because all the street tires rip it up. Because they don't really run. A couple of radial cars might go down or whatever, but other than that, it's all hard tire stuff, so it rips the prep up pretty good. And usually right before the no time cars come up, they re-prep the whole track. Shout out to OSW for always having their track prep on point. That shit is dope. I just want a little bit of idea. I know it's not going to be anything like Saturday, but I want a little bit of an idea of what it's going to do on minimal prep compared to what I normally run the car on, which is full kill prep. So, see what it'll do, get some information, see if we got a hot rod for Saturday's event. We are going to be running in the 28-29 class. So, all the big boys, that's where we fall in that we run. So, we're going to put it in with them. Give it the best. And if we go out, try and get some grudge racing in. I got a couple of buddies that'll be out there. I'm sure they'll be down to get down. We'll just get data. But if it doesn't go well, we might just do some of the no time stuff and just stick to doing grudge racing. We'll keep it in Mexico, whatever we got to do to make it competitive. I think we'll be good. I would like to see this car make, mathematically at least, I'd like to see it make 800. Right now the math says it made about 675 on the last turbo on the boost that we had it on. So hopefully with the intercooler, the new turbo, and everything else fixed, it can make a little bit more. We just need a little bit more. I don't need 1,000 horsepower right now. That Gen 3 is not going to cut it. Sorry, that's bothering me. I'm probably going to bend that shit up. But yeah, the Gen 3 is not going to take 1,000, so it is what it is. Yeah, so let's get to work. Alright guys, it is currently 11 o'clock. I need to go shower. But here's where we're at. So, wastegates are placed up here. Wires are run. So, ironically, we're going to have a red, white, and blue. White and blue will be the outputs from the ECU. Red will be power to both switches. Keep it nice and simple. The vacuum line runs underneath. I have to order a dome pressure sensor or buy one this week, see if someone's got one. I took the wastegates apart, drill and tap for dome pressure on one of them, and Loctite the nut for the diaphragm. I guess they like to come off under pressure, so I'll just do that to be safe. What else do we get done? The lines are in place. The ends are not run yet because the tranny's not in place, so I don't want to cut them and end up short. You can't see this. But hold on, right? There's the end of the lines. So, but clearly if they reach, out here from the quarter panel, when they need to be up in here, they're too long, which is fine. I'm gonna leave those ends off until trans goes back in place, so I don't accidentally cut them short. Really gotta get a door handle for this thing. All right. So then in here, the MAC valve line runs to here. It's got some slack. It's actually gonna end up in here. This has to go tomorrow to get filled or swapped out. I need to modify that fitting. For that quarter turn valve. So do that. I need to make that other fitting for between the MAC valves. And then what else? We have a button on the steering wheel here, somewhere, there. So So that's run with a purple and a red. Purple is the actual ground wire that goes to the ground junction. And then the red wire goes to the Holly as an input. That's our oh shit button. Keeps it on the same side. I generally go from here to let go. So rolling down to here, not a huge deal. Now obviously our bump is a similar button on the other side. And I have all the wires pinned together. I just gotta verify some stuff tomorrow. I didn't want to connect them because I was looking at the Holly map out and it said some weird stuff, so I want to check it. But it's all run to where it needs to go. I just gotta put connectors on it. I think that's it. I think that's all I got done today. It's hot. I'm looking like a sauced up rack of ribs right now. The fittings are on the transmission and they are tight already. So I switched from a 90s to 45s to kind of pull it away from the tranny case or the scatter shield a little bit. So that's done. Yeah, we're getting there. I'll have to pick away at it, you know, an hour a day for the rest of the week, or 2 hours when converter comes back. And I will record some of that stuff. This stuff I didn't really record. I just went to work. It's late, I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. See you guys tomorrow. All right, everybody. It is now Wednesday. It's late. I'm literally getting ready to go to bed. Yesterday, I just didn't have any motivation to do anything. I just slept. I wasn't sure the converter was gonna get done, so kind of just knocked me down a peg. And then I had options. I kind of motivated a little bit, and then I got a phone call today. He told me my converter was not worth it, and we decided to build a new one. So tomorrow morning I'll be picking up my new FTI converter. It is a billet unit. I'll get some information on it tomorrow when I pick it up. It was spec'd for this setup. Motor, tranny, turbo, whole 9 yards. Greg over there took care of me. She motivated me some more. I came home. I had to do some house stuff with all the work I've been doing and just literally work and sleep, work and sleep, work and sleep. I haven't been taking care of the house. It's lacking. So I had to do some house cleaning, dishes and laundry and all that stuff. I actually have to go inside and change a load of laundry. But before I did that, I needed to get some stuff finished up. I wanted the CO2 system at least in place. So tomorrow or Friday, I can go to the welding store, get the CO2 bottle exchanged, so we have a full bottle in here. Let me try and show you guys real quick. Sorry, apparently the cops were by the house. So yeah, that's it. That's literally all I've done. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow is pickup day for the converter. So we'll do that after work. I'll go pick the converter up, come home, I'll put it in. It's about 90 minutes to get the converter back in. It might take a little bit longer because I have to space it. I have to check the spacing because it's a new converter, so gotta make sure I double check that. But get the spacing right, get the converter in, get the transmission in, finish making the transmission cooler lines, which is just 2 fittings. I gotta trim the line down and then make 2 fittings, and then fill everything up. We can't check boost. We can't test boost until I fill CO2 and finish the wiring. So probably Friday night we'll test the boost. Gonna have the girls this weekend, and yeah, we're just gonna have a fun time. I'm not sure what class I'm gonna run. The small tire class was the original plan. However, there's an expense that comes with this new converter that I wasn't planning on that kind of eats up my money for getting into that class. So I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We might just do one with your brung. It's like $100 buy-in or something. Might have a chance at it. I don't know what the car's gonna do. I'm gonna have to make some sort of hit at some point to see what it makes for boost. just get some kind of data on the PWM settings. But we're probably going to be running somewhere between 16 and 24 pounds of boost. That's where we're going to kind of sit. I don't really want to max out the map sensor, but if we have to, we're gonna. There's gonna be a couple on the scramble too. I'm just gonna make sure my timing's super soft up top in case I have to grab the scramble and it goes beyond what the map can read. That way it's one of those things that I just can't break anything on accident. You know what I mean? So that's it. I'm going to bed. See y'all tomorrow. All right, so again, this is where this is gonna go. For right now, I'm just gonna put a big ass hose clamp there, and suck this in a little bit so it sits a little nicer than this. It'll just be up against this bar and sucked in. This is our CO2 line. I had to modify this fitting because I couldn't find a replacement one. This has an O-ring on it, but it went to a barb, so I went and cut the barb off. There was a check valve ball in here. I got rid of that and went to 1/8 MPT to our push line, which comes through here, all the way up there. Ignore the wiring. That's for the boost control that I have to finalize. Literally, I need to connect 2 wires and then come up here. This is our in. I'm probably going to move this now that I have some more wiggle room because this was just out of necessity thing. I had 10 feet of line. Thinking 10 feet was going to be plenty, and then with routing it, it ended up a little different. So I'm probably going to move that to a little bit safer location, maybe out of this hole or something. I don't know. But then, so this is in. This is our up valve. This is our down valve. Lines are all run back through here. The power lines. So for ease of this, both rear wires on the solenoids are going to be positives. The front lines are the pulse width negatives on the Holly. That's our dump, which is just open on the side, plugged in the front, plugged in the front. This is where it will feed to the top of the gates. Boost reference to the bottom of the gates. All right, hold on, move this. Yeah, boost reference to the bottom. CO2 to the tops. I need to pull one of these off and drill and tap it for a sensor and buy a sensor so we can control that. Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday and it's race day. Car still on Jackson's. I basically just determined it was not worth trying to rush to get it done, to go test with no information, no data. I don't know how the boost control is going to work, any of that. So, yeah. But the girls are inside, over there, watching a movie, eating breakfast. So I am going to get the transmission back in the car, converter in, check my gaps and do all that fun stuff, and then finish plumbing, do all that stuff. Basically gonna get it back to running today, or tomorrow, we'll see, because we're gonna go to the track today and watch the no prep, go see some friends, hang out. Probably won't be there very long because if I'm not racing, the girls have like no interest, so we'll probably be there for like an hour or two and then we'll come home. I'll probably put them to bed and come out and work on this. I was originally gonna try and take a nap last night and then do this. I was up for like 23 and a half hours yesterday. I just slept. Got home late, put them to bed, went to bed myself. So let's get to work. All right, everybody. So what you saw is not my fuel pumps. There we go. Drive shaft's in. And transmission's in. We do have to run to Tractor Supply or something and pick up longer bolts for the torque converter, because these ones have like a recess in them at the start. So the factory ones are just a little too short with the spacers I need to use. It looks like we're going to use basically all the same shit that we had before, other than those bolts. We're going to put some longer bolts and use the different pattern. So yeah, I also decided with all this other fancy billet stuff going in, it was time to switch out the caps from the standard U-bolts, which I'll keep as spares, to the billet ones. So, converter's in, fits up beautiful, looks real nice. This car now is currently literally from the bell housing to the pumpkin is FTI. Greg over at FTI redid the pinion for me when I put the yoke in because I screwed up the crush washer. So he redid that. I bought the PST drive shaft through them. I bought the rebuild on the transmission through them, which is basically an entire FTI unit. I think they reused like my trans brake, the pan, and something else, and a couple of like small shit. Other than that, new case, new everything from FTI, and now it's on an FTI converter. So from the flex plate back, it's all FTI. So huge shout out to FTI. I do have to remind him to let us get a big old sticker. Let me know what you think. Are we gonna put it on the front windshield, on the back windshield? I'm kind of hesitant to put anything on the back window that's super noticeable for logistics reasons. I'll let you figure that out. So like even Little Red Zoo stickers, which these will be available soon in a smaller one. It's probably gonna be about that big. This is an 8-inch one specifically for the side of the car or the side of the wing plates and on the back of the trucks. So that's that one. I mean, I can get those if you want them, but those are gonna be special order. I'm not gonna keep those on hand just because it's not as common a thing. It's really just that simple. I don't think that many people are gonna want that big a sticker. I mean, I don't have it on this side yet. I gotta repaint that winglet so it matches. But I mean, to give you an idea how big that shit is, it's the size of my hand. So if you want a big one, let me know. I'll have big ones printed, but I run on backwards. But yeah, so you want big ones, let me know. I'll have them printed, but the plan is for a 3.5 or 4-inch version. So it'll be about half the size of that. So you can stick them, slap sticker size. What else? So converter bolts. And then we still need to fix. So I did my in here, out there. It's supposed to be in here, out there. So we'll fix that. I'll have to take some of this tape back at the end to remember which one went where so I can wire it correctly in the computer, because I still haven't done that yet. When I wasn't sure if the converter was going to be done, I really just lost motivation and decided sleeping this week was a better option. And I've literally slept great all week. It's been fantastic. But that means I've got 0 done on the car because my sleep time and my work time for the car are the exact same time. So yeah, in a little while, my buddy Adam's gonna come by. I have to do some control arms in his Audi. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this thing back on the ground so I can at least push it back for a little while and then do the Audi stuff. And we should be good. Ideally, and we're gonna go to track today for a little bit. I'm gonna do the Audi first. That way the suspected rain can happen and I don't have to listen to the girls complain that the rain is rain at the track. So we'll let it rain there and then we'll go. The event's gonna go for a while, so we're not gonna miss much. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. So let's get back to work.